Founders and the Crypto Spotlight. Today we have a very special guest, Deepansh Singh, who is the co-founder and COO of Polkadex, which is a decentralized exchange being built on Polkadot. Also, an exciting part is Deepansh is just finished with his college, and they have been on a interesting journey, since last year of building Polkadex. And he's joining us today from the city of Nawabs, Bhopal. Thank you, Deepansh, for taking our time and talking to our community members today. Welcome to our show.
Thanks, Manav. And Bhopal is also city of lakes, other than city of Nawabs. That is something we come up with.
It's okay, you have the nature, you have lakes, you have the greenery. So I think so today that's what all the Nawabs need in the world of where we are moving towards a concrete jungle. All right. So tell me about yourself, Deepansh. What have you been up to till now? What's your journey been like? So you're still in college, you're passing out this year, I'm assuming. So what has been the last 4 years in college all about for you?
So my last 1.5 year really sucked because it's COVID situation, but it was really good for our company. We get like 24/7 time for building our product, of course, innovating how much we can, at what level we should do the innovation, considering that we had a lot of time. Since in online education, you don't have to do anything. Similar for the 2021 batches, whoever is watching.
It's sad for them, they'll not be able to enjoy the college life that you were able to, or we were able to back in our days.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we worked on Polkadex last year, September. And that's where the whole idea came into the picture. And before that also, my partner in crime, Gautam, who is also the CEO and co-founder of Polkadex, we had a lot of initiative working in blockchains. We had worked on a lot of projects, working in different distributed ledger technologies, be it Heather Hashgraph, be it Radix DLT. So there are a lot of blockchains out here. So we were really enthusiastic, okay, what are really these networks? Are they generic in nature? So we were really excited. So we were kind of blockchain researchers, even though I had my bachelor's in chemical engineering and different department for Gotham.
Interesting. So how did a chemical engineer get interested into the blockchain crypto space?
Pure curiosity, I believe, because it's where we really believe that the world is going for, where the DeFi is going to change at a very grassroots level, where people like you and me, the middle people are really going to get affected up, because of it. And it's really, it's an adrenaline rush that you get to create a lot of innovation, because this is such a, a nascent stage right now, where this is just the beginning of the internet for the blockchain.
True. That is it. So when did you exactly started exploring this technology? Were you in school, or was you got into college? You got introduced to this technology. What was the what was that incident or moment that made you get interested into this?
Yeah, so I believe late 2017 is when we started working on it, and 2018 Gautam and I were really working in an AI security systems where we wanted to push data to the Ethereum blockchain. And that's where we came like, okay, we need to have scalability issues are there with Ethereum. Of course, when it get get heat up, you had a lot of gas fees around it. And for even though you have to pay like $100 for doing a transaction, it's kind of not possible. But yeah, that's where we thought like, okay, let's do something about it. Let's build something around it, just to know how exactly the blockchain space work. And that's where we thought like, okay, there are a lot of innovation we can do, something that can really impact.
That's interesting. So just on that note, you and your co-founder Gautam, I've been working since 2017. So Polkadex is your first venture, or you were working on something else before this?
We had a lot of projects working, collaborating with different. Since I'm from NIT Calicut, so there are a lot of startups growing around it. So we used to consult different startups, be it around the marketing, be it around the strategy, growth, business, and everything. And Gautam was the lead guy in most of the projects, where he was the the back-end guy who used to know everything about everything. And when you go with some problem and he has a solution already, and if he doesn't, he will do an R&D, come up with it. So and I was from the business side of things. So literally there were synergies. Okay, this is a good technology you're working on. This is a great business. Let's So we had consulted a lot of projects way back, even though when we were in college.
All right, that's nice. So you, as a chemical engineer, were able to find the right ingredients to make the killer solution to take over in the Dex's side and build Polkadex. So coming to your product Polkadex, what is it? Like, can you explain us, our community members, what this is, and how is it different from the other Dexes that are there currently?
Sure. So, I will try to explain in as much as layman term as possible for someone who is new to the industry, may be able to get a grasp of it, at least a part of it.
Sure.
So it's Polkadex is a non-custodial cryptocurrency exchange. So what we are trying to build is you have a centralized exchanges, just like the tier one exchanges that people mostly use for trading and everything. You have a decentralized exchanges, be it Uniswap, be it Banker, be it DYDX, and everything. So we are trying to bring the best of both the worlds, where you have the security of any other decentralized exchanges, where you don't have to put your assets in an exchange while you're trading.
All right.
Because exchange, the centralized operators have the control over your private key. So at any moment, it's basically your assets in their custody. So there's a kind of it's create a honeypot for you for hackers to hack it. So we are trying to decentralize that part where it's completely non-custodial. For full time, it's going to be in your wallet, be it your hot wallet or cold wallet, like Ledger and everything. And still you're getting the same experience and performance just like any other centralized exchanges. So in a decentralized secure environment with a top-notch performance.
That sounds very exciting. So and so you're also looking at fiat conversions, taking that in from the centralized exchanges.
Yes. So for some, if I am an enthusiast and I'm living in India, for me to get into the crypto space, for me to even trade or get to know what cryptocurrencies are, or let me just put $500 and let me try to get some cryptocurrency, study about it. You need to have a fiat on-ramp solution.
Exactly. Yes.
Where you can just swipe out your credit card, debit card, or we are discussion with a lot of banking partners to make sure that happens in a decentralized exchange. It has never been done before, where you have a fiat on-ramp support, but that is what we are trying to bring to the table, because people like you and me who are just getting started, they need a seamless onboarding process, and fiat is the best way to move with it.
Exactly. For people who are credit card, I totally agree for the new people. And I think so with this new bull run and the Supreme Court squashing the ban last year, there are a lot of new people, entering this space and wanting to explore the opportunities and the advantage that this crypto has. And so for them, it's a very good thing to, have a fiat like option to buy crypto and trade. So on that note, so what is the transaction TPS that Polkadex is offering, and is there any gas fees that the user needs to pay while they are trading on your platform, or how it goes?
Yeah, sure. So just to give you how I felt about the gas fees is a few weeks back I did there are decentralized protocol. Not so sure most of our audience have heard of it, but there are Uniswap, there are SushiSwap, and for even doing a $10 transactions, sometimes you have to put a gas fee of maybe $90.
True.
So
that's what Ethereum. You're just talking about the gas price of Ethereum, sir.
Exactly. Yeah. So even extending my budget, basically, if you wanted to do a $10 transaction and you've paid like overall $100 for it to happen, and that is a bottleneck problem.
True.
So we are trying, of course, for anyone like you and me who just want to get into the cryptocurrency, and then they hear this thing, they gonna really be frustrated about it. And that's the bottleneck problem. Like everywhere you go, you have the swapping protocol, and you have to pay a gas fee that is sometimes not under your control, of course. And that's where we are coming with the feeless transaction, where there is not going to be any network fees.
That's very interesting. That's very good, much needed with how the prices are getting so volatile and the gas fees is increasing. So I think that's a good solution for people who are in this space, like both of us, been there for a long time, and I've been trading for a long time, or utilizing their products or need that kind of exchanges. So this just helps us a lot more here. And
Exactly.
what about the transactions per second that you guys have? Like
500,000 is what, and we have a benchmarking to be done, and a couple of testnet is going to prove that this is exactly possible to do in a decentralized environment, where when we start doing trades in a decentralized exchange, you are having your assets very secure. It's non-custodial, of course. Any decentralized exchange that you and I usually trade with, if we are very much we have this trust issues with exchanges where they're going to get away with our assets. So you and someday we are going to trade in the decentralized exchange, and we have the safety of our asset. But what you and I are compromising is the experience. You cannot just go and do the trade and it happens, and the transaction happens and it's all sorted out. It's really lagging because it's on chain, and what you're compromising is on the experience and the performance that you're getting. And in a longer term, when you every day start trading on it, you will get frustrated. Ultimately, you will shift to a central exchange. You will see like, okay, it's fine. My assets are safe with them. Let me have the best experience possible. True. So that's the problem in that. And when you have a high TPS, you naturally avoid the situation where you're not going to compromise in the experience.
Exactly.
And with 500,000 TPS, I don't know.
I think that's a huge amount to start with, and let's hope that goes up to 1 million transactions also once things start flowing in, and more people are coming in. And
you may not need that 1 million, but of course.
And then go ahead and at least have all the Indians coming in on Polkadex to do their transactions using Polkadex as the go-to decentralized exchange. That will be a lovely sight to have. Talking about that, there is a product that you guys also have, order book, that you guys are there. So can you tell us about that? What is that order book, and how is it? What are the advantages that people are going to have if they start, from that order book?
Sure. So going with the first principle, where you need to know, like, okay, what's the difference between when I swap, when I do an order book trading. So I have been myself a deterministic trader, where I need to know at what price I'm going to sell it, and what is the bid limit, what is the ask limit, and how things are going to flow. So coming from any retail investor, and even though being an institutional trader, you have that freedom in an order book when you trade that you won't get in any other swap protocol, where you just need to place an order, and according to the market price, it's going to give you the assets based on what you bid for it. So the freedom that you have, when it gives you a lot of authority, it gives you more of an variable input where you can trade. So it's just the next level of, you have the authority over at what price you need to sell it, and what's going to get you, and when times come it. And with and one of the good things with an order book is, of course, I was just about to forget it, is the trading bot support that you get. So and in a decent exchange, Manav, when you start trading, the order book integration is not that good, because you have a block time. So the order books are not going to get change in milliseconds. It will take like 3 seconds, 6 seconds. So that experience just collapse the trading bot support. But with the TPS that we were discussing about, with that TPS, you can have the trading bot integrations, and when you integrate that, you can have a millisecond trading bot that is going to place order with you. So it's the
Continue. You wanted to say something there.
So that brings another experience to the order book. So that gives you more freedom to
making it more seamless and more easy for the traders or people to actually book a good at a good price, not wasting a lot of time. That makes sense, because as the price has been changing, it can get volatile within minutes. It's just good to grab the right opportunity at the right time.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's very interesting. Now, there's another point, you mentioned about you guys looking at partnering with banks for the fiat, right? For the fiat. So you must be looking at KYC as a thing, right? So how are you, what is it that you're looking at? So is it that going to be a decentralized system for that? If it is, what are the benefits the users are going to get from it being a decentralized KYC on Polkadex?
So Manav, a cross question to you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
so
Uh,
I'm not going to be the one answering everything, right?
All right. So this is a
So
new altogether a chat. I wasn't
yeah,
prepared, so this is out of syllabus.
no worries.
No kidding. Kidding. Please carry on.
When you trade, or do you feel confident sharing your information to an exchange when they ask for your KYC? Do you feel safe, or you like, okay, I have to trade, so I have to give them the
Honestly, I
KYC?
don't feel safe sharing any of my information with any of the platforms, be it exchanges or be it non-exchanges, right? Like
Yeah.
even outside the blockchain world, I'm not very happy with sharing my number or email ID because I know I'm going to get spammed after that. I have no other, I don't have another option, so that's the only way I can go about it.
And how about a situation where, of course, with the regulations and everything coming up, we give you a feature where you have to do the KYC, of course, because regulations, everything will kill us if we won't.
True,
But
true.
there is a mathematical proof, or more to it, there is a proof that we can't access that data, and hence your data won't be exposed to an exchange.
That would be
Sounds
best.
sounds
That
like a
sounds
magic, right?
sounds exciting. I'm like, I need that for every other application also that I'm using out there.
So going back to the whole decentralized KYC thing is because what we have seen is an exchange asking for your KYC details, and again, it's a position where it can get exposed
Mhm.
because exchanges have all your data with you. And the problem with that is it's going to get exposed, and there are hundreds of things that you and I have already heard of, with the privacy issues and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
And for that, we came up with a solution. And you have to do the KYC. There's no other way that in an exchange you can't do KYC, because you have to follow the AML regulations, and if there are people who are using the exchange and have some financial crimes to be
Yeah.
done. So after a certain limit, you have to do the KYC because there are regulations, and everything is catching up to the whole DeFi space. But what if we are in collaboration with another blockchain? So that blockchain has an attester fractal ID, which which verifies your data. But rather than giving us the user's data, they gave us a cryptographic proof, which I won't go deep dive into it. But of course, it is a zero knowledge proof of identity. So we are not the exchange like Polkadex ourselves are not going to have the user data. We are going to have a cryptographic proof of zero identity that assure that this is related to this customer, but we don't have the access to the customer details and everything. So it's a kind of a workaround to ensure that okay, we at Polkadex at any stage won't be able to retrieve the data from the customer.
That's very good. Actually, that fulfills your as a Dex fulfills your role towards the users also, and at the same time towards the future regulations, or in your case also the banking partners if they require, any proof or any identity clearance for the people to use credit cards or debit cards for buying crypto through your platform. So that's a very
Yeah.
interesting thing. You mentioned you're in talks with a blockchain. Are you still? Can you reveal the name, or it's still before
No,
you can?
we recently have a crowdcast event with them. They are
Okay.
our good partner, Skilled Blockchain. I will also share their link as well. So
All right.
they are the people who really believes in sovereignty and the identity part around
Mhm.
it, because there are difference between being anonymous and being having the scope of privacy. So in DeFi now it's a chance where you have the privacy feature, but it can be people can exploit it in ways. So things are working around where you want to ensure that the privacy is still intact in a blockchain space where no one can exploit it, no one can do whatever they want to do. So,
That's interesting. So, killed blockchain is something that one should look out for. So,
yeah.
on the note of partnerships, or besides this, any exciting partnerships or projects that you have had, in the past 18 months of you guys working together, was building Polkadex, or any that you are looking in the coming months, that you would like to share with the members?
Sure. We had a couple of partnership with us and are planning to do more. One of them is of course supercomputing system. So when you mentioned about the TPS, the 500,000
Mhm.
transactions,
Yeah.
and the way that we are achieving is we have collaborated with SCS supercomputing system for the creating a layer 2 solution where the orders are executed at a layer 2 of Polkadex network, and
Mhm.
hence it give you a 500,000 TPS. So that collaboration really helped us to secure the to create an order book that has the high performance. And this is one of the partnerships that we had. And of course, they killed blockchain, fractal ID. And since we are listed in a couple of exchanges now, so Polkadex is live, people can purchase it. So we have our own exchange partner, KuCoin, Gate.io.
That's
And
nice.
yeah, yeah.
That's nice. So you're already with KuCoin. I'm guessing what's your token called that you are listing there? And
Yeah,
what are the
PDEX.
users, PDEX? And
Yeah.
what are the users that, if I as a user holding PDEX, is there any use case that I can use for, or what is the benefit I get?
Sure. So when exchange always get a cut when a transaction happens, right? When a trade
Mhm.
executes. In
Yes.
our case, the market makers don't have any fees. And for the market taker, based on how much holding they have, the PDEX holding they have, they get consecutive discounts while they trade. This is one of the utility you may call it. And then with since we have a governance, the token will be used in governance, token will be
Mhm.
used in staking.
Mhm.
And the more tokens you have, the lesser transaction fees that you have to pay. So yeah.
That works. So, all right, guys. So, if you don't have PDEX and if you plan to use Polkadex, I think so you should go and invest now. So, at least you get a discount on your trades there. All right. One more thing. I missed this. So, why did you use Polkadot as a blockchain for building Polkadex? What was your thought process? What made you and your co-founder decide going on Polkadot and not any other exchange blockchain?
Right. So yeah, excellent question about it, because it's just not Polkadot; it's the framework that supports Polkadot also. Because Substrate is a framework that have recently given developers the freedom to build a blockchain of their own
Mhm. Mhm.
that is really custom, that is specifically built for a certain thing to be done, the custom, the logic part of any blockchain, right? So you can build n number of blockchain and have different logic on top of each blockchain. So it's more it's rather than being generic in nature, it's more specialized in nature. A blockchain built for something to be done exactly. It's not like anything. So Polkadex itself is a network
Mhm.
built specifically for trading.
All right, very
So
interesting.
it's been optimized in a way that it's good for trading. And
Uh,
yeah,
no, no,
please.
please continue.
So it's a whole another level of development innovations can be done with the Substrate framework. And we are a big believer where we are against the chain maximalism, where we don't think like Ethereum is the best blockchain ever, or Bitcoin is the best value stored network ever. uh, Most all three of us, my founders, we believe that ultimately you're going to create an internet of blockchains where two blockchains will be interacting with each other, and maybe there may be 5 or 10 blockchains connected with each other and exchanging values.
Mhm.
And Polkadot has really solved that issue where it will connect to different blockchains and transfer the assets from there to here, transfer values to be more accurate. And that's where we get most interested, where if we connect to Polkadot. And one of the key problems that again Polkadot has solved is I'm not so sure, how much you have known the Ethereum Solidity or the Substrate framework. You and I are not.
I am not so I don't know the technicalities of it, but yes, the
Yeah, sure.
non-technicalities overall I have a good idea about. Right.
Sure. So if you're a developer and you are building a blockchain,
Mhm.
two things that one thing that you really focus on is building the logic, and you don't want to
Exactly.
care about the security. that okay, how it can get hacked, should I do the audit and everything. So Polkadot has really solved that issue where they take care of the security side of things, and you just
Mhm.
have to focus on your logic, focus on what you are exactly trying to bring value to the community. So it has
Very
a lot of addition. Yeah.
very interesting, and the way, I really like the way you explain why you use Polkadot, because a lot of times people in the ecosystem keep coming and saying that which blockchain should we go for? What is the thought process of
Yeah.
why to choose a particular blockchain for a particular use case? And I think so. The thought process that you explained really can help aspiring entrepreneurs or developers to look at which blockchain they should be using or utilizing to go about for building their product or what future aspects they have in place. So thank you on that for that answer, Deepansh. You also mentioned three of your co-founders, right? So
Yeah.
moving away from the script and not talking about the product, let's come about talking about the team. How did you guys meet? Since you're still getting out of college, I know one you were already building your previous consulting other startups in the college. Where's the third guy? So he's also your friend from college, or you met him or her outside? So what is the story?
So yeah, when Gautam and I were researching on the different blockchains and everything, we interacted with a lot of pioneers in the industry who have done
Mhm.
something. And fortunately, we were able to get in touch with Vivek Prasanna, who had, a guy who I can say like been there, done that. He had been known the blockchain industry like decades. And when in the discussion itself, the whole exchange and the how we can improve the whole DeFi ecosystem, we
Mhm.
kind of there was a magic moment. It happened where we all believe this thing can be has a great and a wider vision to it. And that's
Mhm.
where we started chatting. And I'm not so sure when was the official day of it, but we started coding together, having discussions, and it was kind of a natural for us to like, hey, let's do
So,
something about
so
it.
this was all during the COVID times. Virtually, you started discussing this, or was it before that? You guys.
Way before, I believe, 2018 December
All right.
is,
Okay.
yeah,
So the idea came as a collaboration between the three of you.
collaborations. Yeah.
Right. That's interesting. And it's also interesting to see, during the COVID times, I'm guessing you all are in different locations. You were able to, build such an amazing product sitting remotely and not being physically around at the same time building a work. So that's a really commendable thing that, as a new team that you guys have been able to build a decentralized team from the start and, reach till this
and,
point.
and now we are like team of 22 people, and we have members from Ghana, we have members from London, we have from everywhere, every part of world. So
So you are
we
working in
really
different time zones also.
so one of the interesting thing is in GitHub, when we sleep, someone else is working, and when they sleep, and
Yeah,
it happens in our communication as well. When I message someone and I'm getting a reply after 12 hours because they recently wake up. So
it's
yeah.
interesting, how remote working with this technology also, particularly in this space, a lot of people started working remotely and from different parts of the world, collaborating on projects. And with COVID, we are just, the concept of sitting together and working is just getting reduced, and it's more about how you can efficiently work, collaborate on things, at different time zones or in different parts of the country itself. Only. So
That's the only option you have,
yeah,
Manas.
that's the and it's really nice how you guys are pulling it off from the start or from the day one, how your company and when your company has been built from there. Okay, coming back to Polkadex. So you guys are currently on your test net, right? So when are you guys looking at launching your mainnet?
So mainnet we have planned for September. Depends
Mhm.
on the audit, of course. So we have an
Okay.
audit coming up, and give or take 1 or 2 months based on what the feedback we received and how long will it take us for do the improvements and everything. Hopefully, we can do it by September.
Mhm.
And since you also mentioned about the testnet, just to give you a idea of why the whole testnet came into the picture is.
Mhm.
Uh, Mainnet is where the action happens, where the real value of assets exchanges. But before the testnet itself, since it's a DeFi project, right? It's
Mhm.
where our community is our biggest supporter. is the biggest critic, and the best feedback we can get is from the community itself, who really believe in Polkadex. So it's a way to communicate with the community. With, you have a feature, you think like it's good, it's you. One of the feature that we recently come up with, we thought it's really good, but when we get the feedback from the community, it wasn't that good. So testnet, gives us what our community thinks and how they feel about Polkadex,
Totally,
rather
totally
than
makes sense.
yeah,
Totally makes
because
sense. You're building it for them, so it should be there. So, are you still looking for more testers, people to come and work around, play with the what all features you have, and give you any feedback? Or are
yeah.
you? Yeah.
I think you recently saw our Medium post as well, where we are calling out for a beta tester, where we need as many as feedback possible. We are, I can probably say that we are one of the most transparent projects working in the Polkadot ecosystem. Even if there are delays, we push it. Like, say, guys, there are delays because some, technical issues were there, and hey, we successfully completed it. So we want to be as much as transparent. And one of the thing is, if we get, the review done or maybe testing done by our own community members, it really plays good in our side. So we are we have kind of a program for beta tester, where we will be, all the members of the Polkadex technical team will be directly interacting with them, and there are incentives for them as well to help and support.
Perfect. So a shout out to our members. If you are looking to, explore a dApp that is made on in the Polkadot ecosystem, do reach out to me or directly to Deepansh or anybody in the Polkadex ecosystem, and give a shout and try the product out. You never know, you might be using Polkadex very soon, and leaving all the other dexes or the exchanges that you guys have been using till now. So that's interesting. So, what are your future plans? Any more products once you say everything goes well for you? Planned? Are there anything that you have in pipeline that you are wanting to, just trying to see, like just showing a trailer to what is happening? Or if there are anything that you would like to share on that end? Sorry.
Sure. So, there are a couple of things. I told, maybe I will give a couple of surprises in the discussion itself.
Yes,
So,
I'm waiting for the surprises.
so here it comes. So,
Yeah.
even though we are working on an order book and we are going to launch in September, there are a long way to go when we want to, tap into India itself and get the, give knowledge information to the Indians as well. Okay, safety should be the priority for you more than the experience, and hence we are bringing kind of a both. And there are a lot of learning curves, but again, as an exchange also, we have to think and we have to tap into the different domains. For example, we are also planning to have an NFT marketplace, where we recently collaborated with one of the Polkadot project itself, and with the winners and the supporters, we gave them the Polkadex NFTs.
That's
And
nice.
yeah, so you have to be innovative at every stages. So yeah.
All right. So you mentioned about giving out these Polkadex NFTs. So just can you elaborate more about this product, and how did this idea came into your picture? Like why to add NFTs into the entire ecosystem? What was the thought process?
Correct. So as I mentioned, you more than an exchange itself, Polkadex is a network. It's a blockchain. So
Mm-hmm.
you can have multiple solution for it. You can
Mm-hmm.
have an NFT marketplace on top of it. So you're creating a different level of use case. And we thought, okay, let's test it out. So the best way to test it out is to run a competition to check the community sentiments around it, how the community feel. And for the top winners, we have this NFT sent out to them, and it got really appreciated. So we thought, like, okay, as an exchange, when we grow, we have to bring out more innovative products in the market, and NFTs are one of things that are in our pipeline.
That's nice. So any other pipelines? I'm sure you must be building something or looking at any other trading site like IDEO or something, or that you're still waiting on those to have.
Sure. Uh, you know, fundraise and one is one of the most critical part of any DeFi project, right? When even though when you before starting or building the community, you have to have certain resources, developers or whatever, to build a testnet, to build the prototype and everything. And fundraise kind of become obstacles where there's no structure. Like in traditional startup
Yes.
ecosystem, you have a way to go about it, right?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
raise through equity, and you get funds from your friends and family. There are some structure in place, but in here, with regulations, ICUs are kind of a no deal now. It's a no go, of course. So we are, and the struggle that we have when we wanted to, the fundraise and everything. So we are coming with our own IDEO launchpad, which
Mhm.
allows substrate-based project, the Polkadot-based projects, and even opening windows for other blockchain as well to raise funds in a very seamless way. The struggle that a project have, when you build a DeFi project, you have to go to a smart contract audit. There are a lot of audits in place,
True.
when you have a token in Ethereum and then you want to transfer that token to Polkadot, that cross-chain transfer is kind of becomes very complicated. So we are coming up with a launchpad that has almost all the problems, and it's very easy for projects to now raise funds in a very compliant and a very safe environment, and of course with as much convenience as possible.
That's very nice.
It's going to
Uh,
really help people who are just getting started. They have
yeah.
a good uh,
I'm
idea. Yeah.
I'm personally looking forward to the launches of this platform. At least, it will be very interesting to see how you guys are implementing it. And till now, your products, what you have talked about, is very interesting. So I'm sure that the future products are going to be as interesting and useful for the ecosystem. So I am myself really looking forward to seeing how you guys are going to go about. So now moving forward in our discussion. In this journey, have you guys raised any funds or any future plans that you have for your fundraising, or you're launching a token sale? What's the plan?
So we closed our private round way back in February, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
when we have almost 22 ventures supporting us.
That's
We
right.
raised close to $3 million in our, and this is going to support us in building the whole Polkadex order book itself. And
Okay.
when and we believe that it's the whole money is coming to building the order book and building the launch pad, and doing the marketing to get to spread the what
Word
about
out there.
Polkadex. But
Yep.
once you go to an market where your product is actually people are using it, that's a whole different level. Where it's just
True.
not a project anymore. It's real. It's out in the field. People are using it. There should be n number of things in place to ensure that the customer support and everything. So, and India is one of the market that we plan to tap first.
Mm-hmm.
And because we know the struggles, the bottleneck problem that the early adapters of cryptocurrencies and the traders have. So, and Polkadex is kind of a, the solution, the go-to platform to it. So when we have plans for extra fundraising in the future, once it's after couple of months of our exchange launch.
That's very nice, Deepansh. And yes, I agree with you. India does need Indians for it to have a homegrown product to at least work around and experiment in this space, because a lot of us people in this country are also coming in who don't have the background. So for them, something that is easier to understand and move ahead will just help them adapt and bring them to this side of the technology and understand the use cases and the beauty that this technology has overall.
And
Uh,
more than that, also, Manav, like
yeah,
sorry,
no,
people are running behind the hype coins. Of course,
yes.
there are a couple of coins I won't name, but with how we can contribute value to the whole Indian crypto ecosystem is when once we launch as an exchange,
Mhm.
there are e-learnings to it where people, if they are purchasing a token, purchasing a utility token, there should be a reasoning behind it. For example, the technology supporting what
Mhm.
exact contribution it is giving to the DeFi ecosystem, just rather than some tweets or maybe some riding on the hype. So there are a lot of bottleneck problems that we see in this space, and
You're also
hopefully we will.
sharing that knowledge and not just the hype that people should
Yeah,
go behind, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
I think that's a very good point, and that can also help educate a lot of newcomers who are coming in, and might also work towards stabilizing, how people are just buying and dropping, because people see a tweet, they say, oh, Dogecoin is going up now, it's less, let's just go and buy Dogecoin. The other day a friend called me and said the price is down, should I buy? I'm like, yeah, like go ahead, but you just need to see whatever. But I'm not giving you an advice like that,
This is
because
not a financial advice.
yeah,
Yeah.
financial advice, it's a call that you go about. So it was
Yeah.
it was funny, and I understand. And it was, I guess it was around, there was some tweet that happened, and then afterwards the price went up, and he was like, hey, you should have told me to buy. I'm like, this is not like how you go about. You need to. I explained you what the concept is, and I just told you to do some research before you get into it, because it might work for me, but it's like, stock market might not work for you. So you need
Yeah.
to also be understanding from where you're putting in your money.
And
Uh,
there are just to add in here,
yeah,
there
yeah.
are a lot of good projects in the Polkadot ecosystem that are trying to shape the DeFi space, and
Mhm.
still they are not being listed, or there's not an ecosystem surrounding it to get listed. So with Polkadex we can also bring not only Ethereum, the ERC20 token assets and everything. We can tap into Polkadot itself can connect to different blockchain, Manav. And when you connect to different blockchain through trustless bridges, you can bring their assets. And hence, if we get connected to different blockchains, you are going to have the tokens, the substrate based tokens, or their own tokens of that native blockchain, and we can list them. So people are going to get a variety, very hidden coins, good coins that are really going to create an impact, that are undervalued. So yeah, that
No,
is something. Yeah.
that's good. That's a good thing for the ecosystem to grow and people to learn, and also at the same time have a platform to launch things there.
Yeah.
Uh, Another thing. So in your journey of 18 months, what has been a high and a low point in building Polkadex?
Oh, that's that's a very
Or has it only
interesting.
been high since from day one?
Not at all, not at all. Of course, low point I can clearly mention. It's uh, when you're working on in a very cutting edge technology. There are exchanges that are white label. You just have to buy them at certain price, and that they build an exchange for you. But building an exchange that is decentralized, that is
Mhm.
secure, and that is giving you the experience performance, there's a lot of innovations goes behind it. There's a lot of R&D, a lot of people, and you have to collaborate with as many as people who can help you out. And when building and cutting edge technology, you have there are some points when you feel like, okay, this is a dead end. We have to build something else, or we have to come up with another solution. So an innovations happens Polkadex at every day, I believe. Gautam and I talking, and the team talking about it. The whole, we get together and discuss. Okay, this is
Mhm.
the way to. So um, the low points are every time when we are stuck, but thanks to the collaborative nature of the DeFi space, where you get in touch with people who really helps you and really believe in the open source technology. So I believe that is the low point and the high point for us, where you feel helpless, but then you get help, and then
I think that's a very interesting. That also speaks a lot about our ecosystem and the technology that we are working in. So kudos to everyone who's been a part of this amazing technology, and been out there and taking advantage and just pushing the boundaries and letting more people join in and sharing things out there. Now, so when we're talking about you're making a protocol and blockchain for traders and entire ecosystem, what do you feel is the future? Is there a positive future for crypto in India? What are your thoughts on that? Is there going to be a positive future, or what do you feel?
and definitely, and I believe it's a really positive and a promising future, not just because it's a demographic which has a lot of growth potential, but
Mm-hmm.
again, you have great innovations coming out, because we are not the only Polkadot project, or the substrate based project coming out of India. We are also helping supporting different projects who are just getting started, and with even though regulations or the policy is still not framed in India, I believe it's going to be in a way that is going to be in a very regulated environment, where exchanges exchanges, non-custodial exchanges, of course, are going to have a great and positive impact
Yeah, that is there. So yes, even I feel that India is going to have a positive regulations and good things are coming our way.
Yeah.
Most hopefully, let's say, being very optimistic, 2021 might be that year. If not, by end of this year, then 2022 might be that year for us.
And of course, and just you guys are doing a great job in it. When I met Akshay a couple of months back, and I believe you have to aware the community, right? You have to aware the Indian community about the security aspects of when you trade. You have to aware of which all tokens or the cryptocurrency are really going to impact the DeFi space, rather than
True.
just not following up the pattern and bringing good projects to the spotlight, I believe.
Yes, exactly. That's why these series are started, to
So
have
this is
to
a
find
great,
and bring that up.
yeah, because
Yes.
someone has to do it in the India.
Thank you.
And
Thanks,
yeah,
Deepansh. That's very nice of you to, share. And we hope to keep doing that and, keep finding and bringing projects like yours and sharing it and, showcasing it to the ecosystem and letting, the Indian ecosystem grow and having more such projects coming out of India. So before we move on to the last segment, which is the rapid fire round, there is one question that is there in the chats. And if anyone has any other questions, can post it in the chat is they want to have some want you to elaborate more on the decentralized KYC part of it.
mhm.
How is the backend going to work? How it's done? So are you what are your thoughts on that?
Sure. So rather than it's more of a tech question. So I can share a documentation right away in the chat box if I have 1 second.
So you can go through that, Akash, and if you still have any doubts, then you can reach out to us in the ecosystem. Somebody can help you, or we can get back to Deepansh and have his technical team come in and answer those
Yeah.
questions for you. And everybody in the ecosystem can learn more about that. All
Yeah.
right. So through the final segment, rapid fire, Deepansh will not get time to think. And if you
Oh,
take extra
jeez.
time to think, then you're going to give everyone PDEX. All right. Yes. Uh, okay. So somebody is asking about tell the pros and cons of the Neo protocol. I think so, Santosh. That's not a question. We can tell you more about
Yeah.
Polkadot. Near is something that the Punch is not working on.
Yeah.
But yes, one protocol I would say it's to look at. It's they're doing some interesting work. Yeah. All right. So the first question is, who is your idol?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. All right. So which is the podcast or a blog that you follow to keep yourself updated?
Farhan Street, I believe, FS Street. They have a podcast by the name The Knowledge Project.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, love their blogs and everything. They bring the people who have been there, done that, and we just they try to tell us like, okay, how exactly they do it, they did it, and what they think about the future. So the Knowledge Project, I believe, yeah.
All right. That's interesting. So the influencers you follow in this space.
Oh, I believe Ivan on Tech is the one that I
Uh-huh.
that we follow. Infinity Gains, yeah.
That's it. All right. Okay. So if you were to put your entire money in a token, which one will it be? And it cannot be PTEX. We know PTEX you're going to. You have already put your money and everything behind
I would rather not spend them. To be frank,
it. All right. That speaks volumes, guys. If a
yeah.
founder has that much of faith in that token, I think that speaks volumes about what you have in plans for future. All right. So being a remote team, and as you mentioned, there are low points. So what are the ways that you keep yourself motivated
Every day stand-up calls with the team to ensure
in?
that everyone is pretty much inspired, enthusiast enough, and random calls to teammates. Hey, how you doing, man? And I heard that you went through a breakup. So how are you feeling? So just to be as much trans, because just to give you, I'm not going to take much of your time, but when you work from home kind of thing, there are a lot of every time there's going to be a misunderstanding, miscommunication happening, things can go wrong. So
True.
regular sync up, catch up is what went good with us. So yeah.
All right. So you mentioned a stand-up call every day. How do you manage it with different time zones altogether? Which is that common time? Have you figured out, or somebody has to wake up at odd times to take those calls?
So between my partners, we usually do morning calls, and with the tech team, we do in afternoon, and with the marketing, we do in evening. It's not hard coded anywhere.
All right.
If it feels like okay, we need to sync up, we do. Otherwise, just one-on-one call.
But all right, that's nice. So, okay, a movie that is your all-time favorite and has been an inspiration for you. So, this is for everyone in the COVID time sitting at home need to get a movie list going on. So, let's have them see which is their inspiration movie.
Ford versus Ferrari, I believe.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah,
Okay, and where can they watch them? Which platform? There's
I
so
believe
many
it's
out
on
there.
Hotstar. Hotstar, yeah.
All right. Okay. A book that you recommend everyone to read.
12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson.
All right. Okay. And now I'm just adding one, a platform, a blockchain platform that you would, suggest everyone to go about, except Substrate, Polkadot, because you have already done that. Anything else you want to pick from the other chains that you feel has a good future?
Okay, nice one.
This was just for me to get some PDEX now from you.
So, Polkadot, Ethereum, I believe every blockchain has some unique, now every blockchain is coming up with, rather than being generic in nature, they're coming up with they're trying to solve a specific problem, be it scalability, be it throughput. So I believe every blockchain has some uniqueness, unique side of things. So I believe, we should follow up, and based on what interests us or what we think the DeFi future should be, we should follow up.
All right, interesting. That was a very nice answer. Thank you, Deepansh, for taking out time on today and speaking with the ecosystem. Anything you want to tell our or say anything to our community members? Anything that you want to ask them, or any message that you have for them? Please, good time that you can ask them. Leave a
Sure.
message.
So, guys, thanks for listening to us. And I believe we have a testnet up and running. We have a demo tomorrow with also, Manas, Manav, I wanted to update you with the app. Polkadex has its own application, and we are going to present it tomorrow, I believe, in evening. So feel free to watch it as well. My other two partners are going to present it. So yeah.
All right. Okay. Perfect. So, guys, if you want to have a look at the Polkadex app, tune in tomorrow. We'll share the link in the comments so you guys can have a look at it. Thank you very much. And there is one last question that somebody as a FOMO wants to ask is how to overcome the imposter syndrome as this space continuously in development. So, how to pick up oneself from this situation? I think that's a very interesting question because you mentioned that the space is changing so much and there's so much developments happening. So I guess you can share your experience and that might help with that.
Sure, and it's very this guy has really put out the right question in a way that start communicating with different on Discord. I believe there are a lot of technical teams who are really ready to support you. So I believe a lot of try to reach out to different communities. Discuss on the tech things is one of the things that we did when we were just getting started, where we wanted to know, okay, what is Substrate and what are the good parts of it, and how we can overcome the bottleneck problem that we are facing. So the free of cost thing was to interact with the community, and the community is really, it's so supportive that it can come, it can call you, and people are there to help you, updating the GitHub and everything. So just interact with a lot of people and create your own community, build your own community, or be a part of a community.
Thank you, Deepansh. Adding to that note, Kedar, it's never too late, this space is changing. You sleep, and when you get up, there are 30 things that has happened. As Deepansh mentioned, that when they sleep, they get a reply after 12 hours. If one person is uploading a GitHub, they get up in the morning, there's another code that's uploaded. Because that's how this space is. Don't shy away from asking any questions. Ask about it, even if it's the smallest question, because there's a starting point and a journey for everyone. Just to add, on our Telegram channels and Facebook, people have been asking some really basic questions, some really questions which are not basic also. So that can be a starting point for you. Do join us there. Everyone here is to help everyone, the other person to move forward, because as Deepansh also mentioned, it's a vast thing, and the knowledge is, is never ending, and it's just when you ask questions and you help each other, and then only we can grow. So on that note, I will, end the session. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Deepansh, for taking our time and speaking to our community members and reaching out to the ecosystem. Guys, don't forget to, check out their application in testnet. Go give it a run, do some trades, figure out what's happening, give them a feedback, so that, you guys can know what's happening and they can improve from there. It's always good to have testers. So shout out there. And we look forward to your, launch and, seeing things how move forward. All the best for your journey, Deepansh.
Thanks, Manan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great day, man.